Hi guys, Zach here with another Command & Conquer Red Alert video. In this game I'm playing a free-for-all match. On the map, Rivers Wild, I'm starting in the top left position, playing as the Soviets. And you can see what I'm immediately doing is I'm bringing that MCV further down. You do have to move your MCV at the start in order to get near an ore patch. Now usually what you'd do is you'd move to the top left. I'm just so sick of starting in this position because I've been playing a few matches on Rivers Wild, and every time I'm starting in the top left position, which is getting a bit annoying. So I've just took a bit of a risk. I've moved down to this middle position because when you have 4-player free-for-alls, usually I think more often than not, usually the players start, I was going to say in the corners, but as you can see, there's a player playing in this position here who started in the middle left. And, yeah, I mean, they should have built some infantry. Yeah, that was a big mistake from them. And I hate to do this, actually, because it would have been quite a new play. Yeah, unfortunately, if someone's right next to your base, you have no choice. And, I mean, if it had been a serious match, I would have not, obviously moved to the middle left. I took a bit of a risk. I was just so fed up with that top left position, and starting from this middle left position makes it easier to expand to different parts of the map. Right, so I'm in this position at the moment. I've killed the person near to me, although it was unintentional to do it that quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a real economic start. I'm going to go for 2 ore trucks while I build my double war factory. You can go for double war factory, of course, because there are quite a few gems on the ore patch, which is next to my base. Right, so I think the plan of action here is to expand to the south and use those ore patches there. Because if we were both on the left side of the map, I'm going to guess the other 2 players are on the right side of the map. Wow, and Red are already out of the game. And we're only about just over 2 minutes into the game, so I don't know what happened there. I mean, it's a little bit early for a light tank rush, unless he saw one light tank go into his base and then just quit. I don't know if that could have happened, or whether he got infantry rushed. But I mean, that's very quickly. We're just over 2 minutes into a game in a 4-way free-for-all, and it's already down to a 1v1. And we've got Nose on the other side of the map playing as the Allies. Now, one thing about the Allies is they can build up a lot of tanks early on, light tanks, and I know Nose likes his light tanks, so what I'm going to build is a Tesla coil. I don't know though, because he knows I'm playing as the Soviets, he might automatically change to medium tanks. Even then, Tesla coils are still a great defense for your base. Even if the other player is using medium tanks, and even against other Soviet players, if they're using heavy tanks, you can still have Tesla coils defending your base, and they do give you a good amount of support. And you can see I've got plenty of power at the moment, and I'm going to go out of my base a little bit to get a bit more map visibility, because I am really lacking it at the moment. So I do need to be able to see a lot more, just so I can see if Nose is going to attack me and from what direction. Now, one thing to note when he's playing as the Allies is he will build a tech centre at some point, and the tech centre gives you satellite. You can see at the moment he's using infantry to get a bit of map visibility, and I think he knows where he should know where my base is, because he did have some infantry around that position early on. So yeah, I'm just really getting my army out there and doing a bit of scouting. Now, what you can see is I built a service depot, and that's really important because I am going to go for a multi-MCV build. Well, just one more MCV. I'm not going to go crazy. Sometimes you can go a bit more crazy in free-for-alls, but this is no longer a free-for-all. It's now a 1v1, so you do have to think about getting really good tank numbers. But getting that extra MCV can just provide a lot of benefits, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to help me expand south. And then when I've got that extra MCV deployed, it's going to increase my building speed, so I can build ore refineries and war factories twice as quickly. And you can see Nose has actually been quite passive this game. He hasn't lunged in, because he does quite often like to attack early. And you can see I'm struggling a little bit for ore at the moment, so I'm going to just build that first ore refinery quite near to my base, and just use that ore patch next to me. And I'm going to build another ore refinery, which I'm going to deploy south of my base. But we're just having a look around the map. We're getting a bit better visibility now. We can see a little bit more of the map. And I'm just expanding. I'm getting this infantry here, and this is giving me good information, because what I can see is I can see that Nose did not start in a decent... Because it's a good position to start, like where I've just passed, because you're next to that big ore patch. And it looks like Nose started in the top right. And the top right is an awful position to be in terms of, like, access to ore. It's just not good. So he's probably had a bit of a compromised start as well. And that's really important, and that's, I think, why he hasn't attacked me yet. So we're going to have a little look around the map and see exactly where he is and where is it. Because he will be expanded from that top right position, there's no doubt about that. And now we've got our radar dome up, so we can see if there's any attacks. And that just gives, you can see I've scouted quite a bit to the top right of my base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tanks to the bottom right of my base, because I can't see as much. Now, I don't know whether Nose has built an early tech centre and he's just waiting to get full map visibility before he attacks. That could well be the case. Because it's taken me a little while to get my radar dome up, so he could have definitely had a tech centre up. And we can see that medium tank down there. Now, the question is that is it just a scouting tank, or is he taking tanks to that bottom part of the map ready to launch an attack? And we can see that he's launching an attack, and we can see those tanks going across the bottom of the map. Now that's the importance of a radar dome, because we can see where this attack is coming from, and you can see he's got good numbers there. He's got both light and medium tanks, and you can see he's taking tanks to the right of my base as well. And I'm going to build that third war factory, because you can see my economy is pretty good at the moment, and I'm going to want to get tanks out very, very quickly. I'm also building another Tesla coil, because Tesla coils do very well against tanks, especially when you have tanks defending with them. I will just put an extra Tesla coil in my main base, just to provide that little bit more protection, because I'm going to have tanks here. And we've seen him push in from the right at the moment. He notices I've got a Tesla coil and he's pulling back. And now, we're just going to put... we put a Tesla coil there in the bottom part of the map. And you can see he's going for an attack on my ore refineries at the moment. So I'm bringing a lot of my tanks back to there. And you can see he's going for some ore truck kills. So it's just about keeping some tanks to the right, just to defend against those that bunch of tanks to the right of me. But you can see he's pulling back at the moment. But you can see his tanks are in a difficult position at the moment, because they're stuck in that bottleneck. And we're going to get some good kills here. Yeah, and that's not working out too well for him at the moment. So what I'm doing is I'm just building ore refineries, and I'm continuing to build Tesla coils, just to provide that protection, because you can see he's got those tanks there, which are not able to do too much at the moment, because he can't really push in. Well, he might try to at this point. We're just going to build another Tesla coil there. Just it gives us 3 Tesla coils in this main base, which is a good number, especially when you've got like a wall of tanks to defend as well. And you can see he's taking tanks to the bottom side of my base. So I'm going to have to bring these tanks down. And you can see he's destroyed that Tesla coil, because Tesla coils are quite easy to destroy when you've got no tanks defending them. Because Tesla coils, even though they deal a good amount of damage, they are very, very low HP, which makes them quite weak. And you can see he's thinking about entering our base from this position. So I'm just deploying another Tesla coil there. And even though I've got a low number of heavy tanks, I think this is going to be enough to defend for the time being. But you can see he's going for the base destroy here. He's going for my ore refineries, and they're definitely not going to hold up. He's got too many tanks at the moment. But all this time, while he's destroying buildings, we're able to whittle down his tank numbers. And you can see we've got a good number of tank kills, and he's losing the massive tanks he had early on. And now he's having to pull back. But I think he's managing to get I think he managed to get one tank away on low HP. And now we're going to clump our forces together. And this might be the time, the ideal opportunity to go for the counter. Because he has lost a lot of tanks there, even though he's killed a lot of mine. And we have got those 3 war factories, so we have got a good production of tanks at this point in the game, possibly. Right, we just have to remember his base is untouched, so he could have like a good number of, he's probably got a good economy going at this point. And now the real battle starts to start, and he's got a lot of medium tanks here, but we have a lot of heavy tanks, and we can see him pulling back at the moment. And we're just trying to push on and try and get to his side of the map. But yeah, you can see the tank numbers are quite even at the moment. I think he's got a few more medium tanks, but the heavy tanks are a little bit heavier. And we are at my home base, which gives me a bit of a base advantage because I'm able to get reinforcements out quicker. And you can see his tank numbers are starting to fall now. It looks like I've got the upper hand, and probably now the time is to push him back. Yeah, you can see his tank numbers, they're gone. They've absolutely gone. They're shot, and he has to pull back now. That's his only choice. And we'll have to see how his base is going. But you can see he's bringing his reinforcements in at the moment. And the question is, are these reinforcements enough to help? Yeah, he's sort of starting to get his like second wind at the moment. But yeah, I think we're still outnumbering him, and he's going to have to pull back at the moment. We've just got our tank numbers are too great. We have got some tanks at low HP, but about 5 or 6 there on red HP. But he's having to pull back. He has no choice at this stage in the game, and you can see my economy is starting to build back up. Which is great news because it means those 3 war factories are going to continuously be producing tanks. And we're back at his side of the map at the moment, and things are looking really good for us. You can see he's got some light tanks out as well. I think he's just because he knows to build quicker, I think. But you can see he's expanded onto this ore patch, and we're going to have to see how things go from here. But you can see his tank numbers are down. We can see he's got a war factory there. Yeah, and he's got plenty of ore refineries, it looks like. So we're going to see if we can get that war factory kill, possibly. But his tank numbers are starting to build up. He's got another war factory down as well. And it's possible that he had a lot of ore stacked up, and that now he's started to stack war factories. He's starting to get the upper hand again. And I'm going to have to pull back at the moment. I just don't have enough tanks to deal with that. So there, it looked like it was almost over. And you can just see how much like damage, like how much fighting's gone on in the middle of this map. You can just see all those potholes everywhere. Right, so we're going to have to fall back to our base. Yeah, you can see his tank numbers have really built up. And I'm just thinking, maybe he just didn't have enough war factories. And he was starting to like stack like 10k ore or something. And as soon as he's built those extra war factories, he's just able to build those tank numbers up again. And now that he's expanded onto that middle ore patch, that's like a really big ore patch, so he's going to be able to get a lot of resources from that. And you can see I'm pushed right back now. I can't push out at the moment. His tank numbers are just too great. Yeah, and you can see I've built a 4th war factory now, just because I was getting stacking ore a little bit, but so I've got the potential to produce more tanks now, but you can see my economy's just not at that stage at the moment. And you can see he's pushing into my base at the moment, but as soon as he pushes into my base, my Tesla coils are going to do a bit of work. And yeah, he's realised that's a mistake, and he's pulling out. So the question is, has that whittled down his tank numbers enough? Every time he pushes in, it's going to provide like those Tesla coils do a bit of damage. And it's just those few tanks just do make a massive difference here. And you can see he's pushing back again. And again, the Tesla coils are getting a few shots off. And he seems to be pushing right in at the moment. You can see my tank numbers are down, but those Tesla coils are doing a bit of work. And he's realised there's just no way. He's going to have a substantial number of tanks, more than me, if he's going to be able to push into my base from that position. And it's just not a good place to attack me. This top part is just too well defended. And it's a bit hard because you can see it just nicks in. So it's very hard to get a lot of tanks in. And as soon as he does get tanks in, those Tesla coils do a bit of work. But as you can see, our tank numbers have started to build up again. And I think losing those tanks has put Nose in a compromised position. I think he's got fewer tanks than me at the moment. And even if he's got the same number, the problem is those are medium tanks and I'm using heavy tanks. And you can see he's pulling away from those Tesla coils. He knows he's not going to get in from that position. And you can see he's pulling back at the moment. Or is he pulling back, or is he going to go down to the bottom part of my base? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, he's going for the bottom of my base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few tanks over to his base. Because while he's attacking me, it's going to make it harder for him to defend. Now, my base is a bit more built up than it was last time. Last time I just had like a little out base. This time I've like crawled right down to the bottom of the map. But you can see he's got a good number of medium tanks here. And I'm going to make short work of things. But what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to do a lot of damage to this part of the map. And I'm going to go for his economy first. So I'm going to try and take out those ore refineries, which is what he's doing in my part of the base. And as we pull in, we can see he's got a massive number of ore refineries. He's got about, like, I don't know, 5 at least I could see. He probably had 6 there, actually. Actually, screw that. I'm going for the ore trucks there. There's no point in going for that many ore refineries when he could just rebuild them. And you can see he's got a massive number of war factories as well. He's got 4 on screen at the moment. And he must have more back in his base. So we really need to take these ore trucks out as much as possible at the moment. And you can see he's noticed that I'm attacking his ore trucks. And we've taken about 3 ore trucks out. I think this is going to be a 4th ore truck. And now we're going to be able to get a 5th ore truck. This is big. This is very big because we can see he's got no ore trucks left on this main patch. And that's a big blow for him. Because you can see he's gone for my ore refineries, but he hasn't gone for my ore trucks as such. It just means my ore truck has to travel further distances. And now he's going for my ore trucks, but you can see his tank numbers in my base are very, very low. And we're going to have to see who's done the most damage at the moment. Because we both went for each other's bases. Yeah, and you can see those tanks are not going to be able to do very much at this point. Yeah, they're not even going to be able to get that ore truck there. And what I've done is I've just paused my tank production where I try to get my economy back on track. And we'll have to see how Nose is doing at the moment. We'll have to see how much economy, because he will have economy at other parts of the map. And yeah, we can see those tanks. So he's grouping his tanks together. So we're going to have to see who has what at this point in the game. And yeah, we're pushing it. He's pulling back a little bit, but he's just going to try to get into that open space. And we're both going on. This could be very well a defining battle in this fight. Both of our economies are damaged at the moment. It's going to take us a bit of time to work them back up. But you can see it's looking good for me at the moment. I do have the better tank numbers, it does look like. And he's pulling back. And those heavy tanks are doing a great job here. You can see a lot of his tanks are on low HP now. And we're just picking them off one at a time. And I do definitely have the better tank numbers at this point. And I'm just trying to redirect tanks back to that ore refinery I built at the south. Just to get things working again a bit better. Right, so we're back in his base. He's got a couple of ore trucks there, but it looks like it's going to be over. It looks like Nose just doesn't have enough economy left. So that, taking out those ore trucks has really done a number on him. And now it looks like I'm going to just have to destroy buildings. And you can see he's got another war factory as I uncover more of the map. Like, I mean, he had at least 5 ore. He must have had like 6 or 7 war factories out. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, I think this is a good game now though, because there's no way he's going to be able to come back from this. His economy's shot. He's lost a lot of war factories. And I mean, one of the it's rare you get games like this where it's so close for so long. Back and forth. I mean, yeah, so early game, I think he took out a bit of my base, and I think I had initially had the advantage, and then I had the advantage because I sort of built that 3rd war factory. I was able to push him back to his base, and I think Nose made a mistake that he hadn't built enough war factories. And then I pushed to his base, and as soon as I got to his base, he started stacking those war factories up and got a massive number of tanks and was able to push me right back. And I think the reason I was able to defend was just because it was a part of the base he attacked. I think what he should have done is when he got those big tank numbers, is he should have gone straight to the south part of my base. And if I think he'd gone straight for the south, he wouldn't have lost those tanks to Tesla coils. And he would have been able to do a lot of damage. And I think I would have been forced to defend at that point. And it would have been very hard for me to send tanks to his base because I didn't have good tank numbers at that point. I was on the retreat. But yeah, it's completely over. Now you can see he's taken a few tanks to my base. But I mean, that's just the last. Nose always does like to fight to the end. And you can see there's his tech center. And once I destroy that, he loses all visibility of the map. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it forward, because you can see at this point, there's absolutely no contest, and it did go on for quite a while after this. And what we'll see here is the last part of the game, where I do find his like hidden base in the top right, like right at the top of the map though. He also had a gap generator, hiding it. Although with this, sort of like when you're playing Soviets, you can sort of like, if you've got like a little black patch, you can see that's probably where the base is. And that is good game. So, yeah, what a game. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video.